Hey guys, so I'm going to talk about something that's actually a very serious topic, and it's something that I struggled a little bit with in the past, as well as seeing people around me struggle with as well. And so today I'm actually going to talk about relationships and the toxicity in certain relationships and how to kind of maneuver around it. So first off, and this is I wrote a script. All of it is written by me, but considering that my mind moves around like a million miles a second, it's hard to keep focused on one thing. And so I wrote everything down, just my thoughts and ideas. So yeah, it's a little scripted, as you could tell, but it is coming completely 100% from my viewpoint. And so, anyways. So, first off, if you are in a relationship and they don't value you, you need to cut them out and move on. As hard as it is, don't let someone take advantage of you. If someone is controlling, do not stay with them. Don't think that you can change them because they have to learn. Don't make excuses like, oh, they just been hurt in the past, or oh, it shows that they care about me. Because really, honestly, take it from someone who was involved in multiple relationships that involved that, that's not an excuse. Not saying I was perfect when I was in a relationship, because I definitely had my flaws, but understand the line between controlling and concerned. Let me break it down for you. If you control anyone, it will either make them rebellious or they will be absolutely terrified of you. So imagine if it's the first. You start to control where this person goes, who their friends are, what they think, etc. If they have a rebellious personality, they will rebel, and you can't change that about them, no matter what. They will hide things from you and they will leave you. That is not a relationship, not a healthy one. Now imagine if it was the opposite and they become completely 100% terrified of you. What does that do? Yes, you may keep them around, but do you really want someone you care about being scared to be around you, or telling you or tell you things because they're having to walk on eggshells the whole entire relationship? These kind of relationships are emotionally manipulative. And I have also been through that as well. Those are not healthy relationships. And look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't set rules or boundaries in a relationship, because you should do that when you both feel it's necessary and you have established that relationship. Making your partner feel comfortable to be around you will definitely work in your favor, and it makes the relationship just more healthy in the end. So another issue that I found is trust. For example, if someone cheats on their significant other and the other person stays with them, that's all on them and that's their decision. However, don't sit there and constantly be checking up or reminding the person of the instance. Either move on from it or end the relationship. People aren't lying when they say that a relationship is trust. If you don't feel like you can trust them, you need to end it. Another issue that I find, and I admit that I've been guilty of, is comparing your past relationships to current ones. One of my closest friends has said to me the other day, if you are too busy always looking at your past, how are you supposed to see what's in front of you? And that hit me hard when he said that, because as big of an analogy as that is, if you think about it, how are you supposed to see what's in front of you if you're always looking at your past? If you're looking behind you, you're going to run into a lot of problems because you won't see them. If you are listening to this and you are letting your past control your current views on relationships, stop it right now, because I have been through this and it took me a while to learn this and comprehend. But do not make your partner feel guilty for a bad relationship because they are a separate person from your past, hopefully. Yeah, they may be another person that may cheat, use, or treat you bad, etc., but they may not. You never know until you give them the opportunity to prove themselves. If you have any doubts about the relationship or how you feel about someone, don't continue it. You'll just sit there and waste your time, and you'll regret it. I've seen so many people waste their time in a relationship that they weren't invested in because they either felt bad about ending it or they simply just felt like they needed to feel validated by being in a relationship. Do not do that to yourself. And another issue I see when it comes to couples are constantly arguing, sometimes even more than the good times. And hey, some people get turned on and it's their kink to argue, yell, and do whatever, and then make up with kissing or sex afterwards. That's If that's your thing and that's the other person's thing as well, look, go for it. But you should not be arguing for more than 70% of the relationship. And honestly, I'm being generous with that number. If you are constantly arguing, don't even bother to continue it. You should enjoy being with your partner, and if you argue all the time, how could you enjoy their company? Again, I get it. You're never going to 100% agree with your partner, and I'm not saying to break up if you're like, "Oh, I told her to do this and she didn't do it this way, so now I'm mad at her and I want to break up." I'm not saying that. I just want to make it very clear what I'm saying. I'm not saying you guys have to break up if you guys are occasionally having arguments. But if it does become a constant thing and more than good times, it's time to pull the plug. What I want you guys to take away from this is to know your worth. Don't settle for less than what you deserve. Do not sell yourself short. It sounds very cliche, I know, but I've seen both myself and people that I care about go through these things. And I just want to be able to help at least one person if they are going through this.